Some potential registrants are of the view that because the registration teams have left the centers close to their homes, they will not be able to register and vote in the 7th December 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections. It is important to stress at this point that as long as one lives in the electoral area, he or she can register in the nearest center close to his or her house. What we are basically saying is that by the law, to be able to register and vote, you have to be a resident of an electoral area. And electoral areas can have as many as 20 registration centers. So when you look at the Legon electoral area, for example, there are over 20 centers. So please, if the one close to your house, we have finished the registration, the nearest place you qualify to also register there and vote. Activation network challenges, which we have mentioned, that we are very sorry about that, and we hope that all of you are going to be able to register. Registered voters so far. I need to stress at this point that the figures we give to the general public during these briefings are provisional. So when we say they are provisional, it means they are not final figures. Once we finish the entire process, all the collation will be done. So when the registration is over and all the processes, including porting of the data, are consummated, the Commission will announce the final figures for each region for the information of all our stakeholders. All actors are encouraged to reach out to the Commission regarding any discrepancies in the figures. We live with our motto, transparency, fairness, and integrity. Indeed, it's in the spirit of transparency, fairness, and integrity. That's why we are doing what we are doing. We want the general public to know what is actually happening. If there are mistakes, all of us work in tandem to correct these mistakes. Registration is challenged by agents of political parties. As a consequence to the challenges, the district registration review committees in the various districts have started sitting to check whether those who have been challenged qualify to register and vote at the centers where they were challenged. It is important to point out that a number of these challenges are as a result of people who are alleged not to be citizens of Ghana and not resident in the electoral areas where they want to register and vote. For the avoidance of doubt, these are the qualifications for registration. Applicants must be citizens of Ghana. They must be at least 18 years old. They must be resident in the electoral areas where they want to register and vote, and not barred by any law from registering to vote. Once you meet these qualifications, you qualify to register and vote. Parliamentary candidates and operatives of political parties should desist from transporting people from one district to the other to register when they know very well that these people are not residents of the districts where they want to register. The operatives of political parties should also not be fronting for people who are not Ghanaians. The Commission needs the support of all our stakeholders for a very clean, credible register. Nevertheless, it is essential that parties educate their agents to avoid challenges that are needless. Challenges must be based on evidence of people violating the rules on voter registration, which I stated above. Registration in secondary schools. Registration for applicants in senior high schools where there are no registration centers took place on Friday and Saturday. The Commission is still looking at the option of going back to these schools in the course of the week to register those who did not get the chance to register. This is because reports coming to us indicate that in most of the schools, the team could not even register 50% of them. In our endeavor to ensure that every Ghanaian who qualifies is given the chance to register, the Commission will also have a mop-up registration for all those who will not be captured during the main phases of the registration exercise. Note that we will not disenfranchise anyone who wants to register. Another thematic area has to do with the performance of our officials, more specifically. Our officials continue to improve with the impressive numbers they continue to register on a daily basis. As the registration continues, we can only expect our officials to do better in the performance of their work. Gentlemen of the press, the Commission is once again very grateful to have you here in our endeavor to reach the good people of this country. This is the third session of our press briefing dubbed Let the Citizen Know. Through this medium, the Commission seeks to clarify all our processes and activities ahead of the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections and even beyond. Today's briefing will focus on the following thematic areas: overview of the past week, COVID-19 safety protocols, political party agents' collections of cards of registered voters, the work of the district registration review committees, registration in secondary schools, performance of officials, centers in the current phase of the registration, then the registration in the electoral areas, and the total number of registered voters so far. Overview of the past week. In the past week, the Commission has noted a significant improvement in the performance of our operatives or officials and the registration kits. Information available to us indicates that in most of our registration centers nationwide, the average time for registering applicants is even below 4 minutes per person. So we are receiving reports of the process going very, very fast in many parts of the country. The Commission is happy to inform the general public that it has also seen significant improvements in the adherence to the COVID-19 safety protocols, especially that of social distancing. This has been achieved through the provision of chairs for queue management in all our registration centers. We are regularly liaising with the regional and district officials to ensure that all the protocols are adhered to by all our registration officials and applicants who visit our centers. In spite of the progress we have witnessed, the Commission is still striving for perfection in all our centers. So if you go to the centers, those who went there from yesterday, you will notice some significant improvement. We are also appealing to the general public to abide by the protocols for the success of the registration exercise. We do expect all registrants to be at the centers in their face masks. Health professionals will check their temperatures and ensure they also wash their hands before they sit down. All centers also have sanitizers specifically for applicants. The sanitizers are provided at all centers for applicants. All the registration teams have been provided with non-alcoholic wipes to wipe the fingerprint scanners regularly. We've been receiving reports that this is not being done, but the Commission wants to assure the general public that we have non-alcoholic wipes over there for that purpose. The Commission has provided additional chairs at all our registration centers to ensure social distancing again. The general public is entreated to inform the Commission about any lapses in our safety protocols for immediate redress. This is in line with our objective of being very, very transparent in everything we do. The security personnel are also well aware of their role in ensuring safety at all the registration centers. Political parties' agents' collection of cards. It has come to the attention of the Commission that some agents of political parties at the registration centers will collect the voter ID cards of applicants and take some details from the cards, including asking for applicants' phone numbers. The Commission wishes to clearly state that this is not part of our electoral laws, and the agents of political parties should desist from doing that. The general public is also advised not to give the voter ID cards issued to them by the Commission to the agents of the political parties at the registration centers, because that is not their job. They are there to observe the process. If there is a problem, they can challenge. But it is not their function to collect the ID cards of people who have registered. The work of the district registration review committees. In our previous briefings, we stated that some of the applicants who registered to vote